I'm Daphne Odell, and I grew up in Spring, Texas. It's a suburb of Houston. I have a master's in dance, and I grew up dancing. So kind of drag or somewhere in between. That's always been um, part of my performance life, actually, for a long time. And I think I first started doing Daphne Odell at DragCon 1 year ago. One of my first performances in drag, my when I was an undergrad, my dance professor had me dress up in her wedding dress and do a large modern dance performance in a setting that probably wasn't so acclimated to gender bending kind of things. So we had a lot of people get up and leave during the middle of that performance, which was actually really exciting and fun to push those buttons. There are quite a few queens that inspire me. My drag mom is her name is Trulia Fabu. She is out of Baltimore, Maryland, and she's kind of taught me a lot about drag, about makeup, about padding, all the basics. So she's probably my biggest inspiration. I have a few sisters that have started drag just right before I started doing drag myself. Hibiscus is her name, and Anita D. They're in New York. And then there's like the famous ones like Lady Bunny and Bianca Del Rio and Violet Chachki and some of the bigger names. Texas is very conservative, and there's a lot of oppression of those forms of expression. But as in any place where you oppress one thing, there's a counterculture that tends to build. So there are people that are involved with it. There is some deep seated internal issues that a lot of those people need to go through, and I don't know if Texas is necessarily the place that you can kind of safely express those things. But yeah, there is a little bit of a community there. I really enjoy the song "The Glamorous Life" by Sheila E. I like anything by Lady Gaga. I love to perform to. And then Keisha has a song called Praying, which I'm really excited because I'm working on a piece with a designer to do a really big production number to that piece. I don't do celebrity impersonations very well yet. It is something I'm practicing on. I've done Cher, and it was not well received, so there is a lot more growing to do in that area. Yeah, particularly with the newer conversations that we're having about race and appropriation of cultures and things like that. Um, and with the Me Too movement, there's a lot that's changing in the world of drag that is acceptable to perform to and to not. And we're kind of figuring those things out as a drag community, kind of in real time. It is a little bit stressful at times, but it is the exciting thing because ultimately we're moving to a more accepting and more inclusive society in doing that. Everyone's very, very respectful. I perform in the House of Star on Thursdays at Rage, and all of the girls that are involved with that are incredibly kind and very willing to help each other out, lend each other pieces of makeup or jewelry or anything that we may have forgotten. Always there to lend a hand and lift each other up for sure. This season, it's Miss Cracker, but I also really enjoy Aquaria. I That's not for me. I do live pretty full time in a gender fluid environment. I have my nails done, and I do wear what I call boy makeup, which is not as thick as drag makeup. It's not to change the contours of my face. It's just to add a kind of a glamorous take on my already existing face. So I do kind of live in between both worlds, but as far as gender, I do gender myself as a male.